Hey, how are you doing? Wait a minute. Where are you right now? A week had passed since my husband and in-laws moved without telling me anything. That's when I got the call. Huh? Why do I have to say such things? Are you stupid? What do you mean by that? Seriously, what a noisy woman. I'll forgive you if you apologize. Also, if you work as a housekeeper, I'll even give you the keys to the house. How about that? Isn't it a good proposal? I couldn't help but sigh at the absurdity. Who would do such a thing? For someone useless like you. Isn't that more like you? Huh? How dare you? I could hear my husband talking to someone over the phone. Huh? Yes, I understand. It was probably. My mom wants to talk. Without my consent, he handed the phone to his mother. Hello, can you hear me? I can hear you, but... Oh, you were alive. What did you say? Because you are unemployed now, right? I've heard about it. You really deceived me, what a scummy woman. My husband had lied to his mother to protect his pride. Who really is the scum here? I thought. What should I do? Why are you silent? Say something quickly? Hearing those words made my blood rush to my head. It's bad to say, but I'll teach this misunderstanding old woman over the phone. The truth about my husband. It seems you are mistaken, so let me tell you the truth, it wasn't me who got fired. It looks bad now. Isn't that more on your side? Huh? Such nonsense. It seemed like the irritation of my mother-in-law would not stop. I'm not joking. After all, the luxury you've been living in is thanks to me. Enough already. I never thought the conversation would be this incomprehensible. No matter how much more time I spend telling the truth, she wouldn't listen. That's when I made up my mind. Then, I'll divorce your unemployed good-for-nothing son. Huh? Do you understand what you're saying? Even if you do that, you're the one who will suffer. Don't worry. Rather, you should be the one worried. This is not going anywhere. If you're going to hang up, you might want to ask about the firing. As I said that, the call ended. About 5 minutes later, my husband called again. Probably after talking to his mother. However, I did not answer the phone. I thought. Now, let them suffer a bit more. And I waited for the opportunity. Thanks to that, what awaited my husband and in-laws was not just hell. I am Ashley, and my siblings have been running a company passed down from our grandfather. My brother Phil is the president, and my sister Emma is an executive. As for me, I am the manager of several apartment buildings inherited from my father. I have enough income just from the rent. I met Joey when I was 33 years old. The catalyst was my sister Emma. Sister, isn't it about time you got married? Huh? What's this all of a sudden? You're at a good age, so I thought it's about time. How can I get married when there's no one? Leave that to me. A week later, my sister introduced me to Joey, a friend from her university days. My first impression was that he was a well-groomed young man. As someone who had only focused on work, I didn't know what to talk about. Then, have fun just the two of you. Wait, Emma. My sister left laughing. Left alone, I realized he was younger than me since he was a friend of my sister's. I thought. I, as the older one, need to be responsible. Shall we go then? Yes. Both of us, still nervous, entered a nearby restaurant. We ordered drinks and gulped them down immediately. Thanks to that, it seemed like our tension eased. I'm sorry about today. Emma did it on her own. No, it's fine. Actually, I wanted to meet you. Huh? You mean? Actually, I've heard about you from Emma. She's been talking about you ever since college. That girl really. According to Joey, Emma had been bragging about me a lot. We spent about 2 hours together and then decided to part ways for the day. See you then? Ah, wait. Can I have your contact if it's okay? Right. We haven't exchanged it yet. Thus, we exchanged contact information and started going on regular dates. So when are you going to get married, big sis? It's too soon. Not really. How long have you been dating? About 6 months? Then, there's no problem, right? You think it's someone else's problem. In fact, Joey confessed to me a week after Emma introduced us. I was surprised, but it didn't feel bad. I accepted his confession. And 6 months passed. I had been thinking about getting married eventually, but I hesitated to bring it up myself. Since I am older, I thought it might pressure him. One day, while I was thinking about this, I have something important to discuss today. Understood. I'll meet you at the usual place after work. Then, see you later. The call was during lunch break, and I could hardly concentrate on my work for the rest of the afternoon. It's no wonder. Nobody would not be conscious after hearing such things. That day, I was proposed to. I was somewhat prepared, but when actually asked to marry him, I wondered if I really was the right person. So, what's your answer? Please take care of me. However, what followed was challenging. The next thing was to greet the parents. Both of my parents warmly welcomed our marriage. Only the greeting to my in-laws was left. However, what about greeting your parents? Ah, about that. Yes? Joey's expression was dark. It even seemed like he didn't want to go. I have a little request. I want you to keep quiet about your job. What do you mean? It's fine with my father, but my mother. According to Joey, my mother-in-law had a weirdly high pride and believed that it was unthinkable for a wife to earn more than her husband. Apparently, his late grandmother also had such a personality, and she had thoroughly inherited it. So please, adjust the story a bit. Joey pleaded. When he did that, I couldn't say no, but I was anxious. It's okay to hide it, but can we keep it hidden forever? I think it will be okay. He didn't explain specifically at that time, but I had no choice but to trust his words. And a week later, we went to his parents' house. Are you okay? I'm getting a bit nervous. I'm here with you. And just as we discussed beforehand. I know. When Joey pressed the doorbell, my mother-in-law came to greet us. Good of you to come. Come in. Thank you for having us. We were led to the living room, where the father-in-law was waiting. Good you came. Take a seat. Yes. I glanced sideways, and Joey seemed to be nervous too. We came because I have an important talk. I intend to marry Ashley. I see. Ashley, do you work? I anticipated such a question. In the preliminary discussion, we decided I would say I'm doing clerical work through a temp agency. It wasn't all a lie, as I occasionally helped out at my brother's company. That's why we decided on that. Currently, I am doing clerical work. I see. What does your father think? It should be fine. So, it's okay for us to get married, right? Yes. There's no reason to oppose. Thank you. While making small talk, I went to the bathroom. When I was about to return to the living room. Wait a moment. Yes. I thought it was unfortunate to meet her at such a place. What is that? What do you mean? Wearing something that looks so expensive. She was pointing at the necklace. Ah, this is. As you're going to be a wife from now on, you don't need such things. Take it off right here, right now. Excuse me? Shall I take it off for you? My mother-in-law tried to snatch my necklace. It's okay. I can do it myself. I immediately took off the necklace. It was actually a birthday present from Joey. I tried to explain it several times, but it seemed that my mother-in-law took it as an excuse. Also, I don't like your outfit either. Showing so much leg. It's indecent. I wondered why I had to be criticized to this extent. Perhaps thinking I was taking too long, Joey came to see what was happening. What are you doing here? We were just talking. We'll be back soon. Okay. Understood. My mother-in-law interrupted me. Remember what I just said. I'll be coming over regularly to check up. What do you say? I understand. I had no right to refuse at that moment. Rather, I was just too exhausted from being unilaterally criticized. I returned to the living room, but I didn't say anything. I didn't want to say anything wrong and be criticized. Is something wrong? It's nothing. I blamed Joey in my mind, but it wouldn't help to show that attitude towards him. I just wanted to leave his house as soon as possible. I don't quite remember what was discussed afterward. Thus, we got a provisional approval and returned to Joey's house. For now, we need to look for a house for us to live in together. Yes. We went to look at properties, but I couldn't get my mother-in-law's words out of my head. Before I knew it, I had signed the lease in my name. I hadn't thought this would lead to a major problem later. Thus, we became husband and wife, but the smooth sailing was only at the beginning. For now, let's keep it hidden from my mom. Can we really do that? It'll be fine. Joey's baseless confidence only made me anxious, and it became a reality. We tried to avoid dealing with the in-laws as much as possible. A month after we got married, I came home from work to unexpectedly find my mother-in-law there. Mother. Why are you here? Well, I came to check on you. What were you doing until this time? I was at work. But you're a secretary, right? Isn't it too late even for that? I looked at Joey, and he was shaking his head sideways. It seemed he wanted me to keep hiding it. I had to work overtime today. Saying that, did you really just go out and come back late? I did not do such a thing. I wonder. Mom, that's enough. But. Anyway, we are doing fine without any problems. With that word from Joey, my mother-in-law reluctantly left. Sorry. I didn't expect her to come to the house. Maybe we should tell her the truth? It's okay. Leave it to me. But essentially, we are deceiving her. Enough. Don't say the same thing over and over. Was it necessary for me to be told so much? Despite being newly married, I gradually began to distrust Joey. However, there was a good aspect. Whether Joey's words had an effect or not, my mother-in-law stopped coming over. I thought I could finally relax, but I felt a further anomaly one day at noon. Huh? Why are Joey's shoes here? I cautiously entered the house. Then I found Joey lying on the sofa, drinking alcohol. What are you doing? Whoa. Apparently surprised, he dropped the can of beer he was holding. Why are you here? I came back because I forgot something. More importantly, what happened to your work? I wasn't feeling well, so I left early. But you seem to be drinking. Does that mean you're cured? Look. They say alcohol is the best medicine. Even so, you seem to be drinking quite a bit? Looking at the table, there were already 6 empty beer cans. That's supposed to be in moderation, right? I think drinking too much defeats the purpose. Joey fell silent. I went to the bedroom to fetch the document I had forgotten. Glancing at the living room, despite my earlier caution, he was now gulping down sake. Come on, stop it. Huh? Isn't it about time you didn't have time for this? I'll ask you in detail when I get back. Take care. I really wanted to question him thoroughly right then, but as Joey said, I didn't have the time. Is something bothering you? No, not really. You look down, just like Phil said. Sorry. I'm really fine. Could it be something with Joey? Why would you think that? Just a feeling. I guess that's the only thing I can think of. I didn't know what to say. Let's focus on work for now. Yeah. Right. After work, we siblings gathered. So? What's troubling you? Ah. You don't have to tell anyone else. So feel free to talk. Thank you. Here, I explained about my mother-in-law and Joey's current situation. That's. Sorry. I had no idea it had come to that. It's not your fault, Emma. But what will you do now? Should I talk to him? That might just make things worse. Didn't we just agree to keep this between us? Maybe, but I was touched that they had thought it through so much. For now, I'll try talking to him in more detail. That sounds good. I'm here to help whenever you need. Thank you for that. After this conversation, I returned home. However, Joey was not there. The alcohol had been neatly cleaned up. I thought, where has he gone? I tried calling him, but there was no response. Joey didn't return until the next morning. Where have you been? I just went to my parents' house. Mom suddenly called me. What's so funny about that? Huh? You didn't answer your phone, and you really went to your parents? You could have at least called, right? What are you trying to say? If that's what you think, why don't you call my mom? Don't say such nonsense. Since it was already time to leave for work, I left the house. When I arrived at the office, I got a call from my mother-in-law. Hello? What do you think you've done? I don't follow. You doubted Joey? Because he didn't answer his phone. Getting angry over that. You really are petty. My mother-in-law continued to berate me afterward. She even went so far as to call me useless. I couldn't stand being insulted anymore and snapped back. There's no reason for me to be spoken to like that. What did you say? Please don't say such nonsense. I have work, so I'm going now. I unilaterally ended the call. Having held back until now, I felt a great sense of relief. Feeling a sense of accomplishment for getting through the day, I returned home where Joey had some harsh words for me. I heard you said something terrible to my mom? It wasn't terrible. I just said what was obvious. Don't joke around. What do you think of someone's parents? Then you shouldn't do things that make you suspicious. Fine. I have my own ideas then. Saying this, he started making a call while laughing. After the call, Joey said, "Look forward to it." The situation took a sudden turn 3 days later. What's going on? Boxes were continuously brought into the house. Confused and stunned, I went outside, where Joey appeared with his parents. Why are you so surprised? I told you to look forward to it. We'll be in your care from now on. I just follow what Mom says. That's when I understood everything. Without telling me, Joey had planned for us to live together. That was what the phone call was about. Isn't this a bit tyrannical? Why? Joey suggested we live together because he's worried about us. He's really a wonderful son. But there's no room available. That's strange. Joey told us 2 rooms were available, right? Those 2 rooms were intended for when we had children, not for living with his parents. However, since the moving of belongings was already completed, there was nothing I could do. From this day on, my life would become a nightmare. Is breakfast not ready yet? It's way too early for that. That's none of our concern. If I had overslept it would be another story, but it was only 5 a.m. at this point. From that day on, I started waking up at 4 a.m. This was just the beginning. However, something happened that made me decide to take revenge on Joey and his family. I ended up doing all the household chores. It wasn't that I wanted to. It was because no one else would do it. I thought I would break down if this continued, so I consulted my brothers again. What the hell is that? That's just unacceptable. Leave it to us. My brothers came to our house after work. They were there to speak their minds to Joey and his family. Huh? Brother? And Emma, what are you doing here? We heard you've been doing whatever you want? I would never do such a thing. Really? We heard you just moved in without asking. And you leave all the household chores to Ashley. That's not true. There was a misunderstanding. Anyway, leave this matter to me. I'll explain everything to our parents. So he says. That's fine, right? I had relied on my brothers, but I couldn't trouble them any more than this. That's fine. We're counting on you then. The in-laws were out for the day. I don't know what would have happened if they had been home. You really did something unnecessary. You shouldn't have done this from the start. Aren't you embarrassed to rely on your siblings? While Joey and I were arguing, his parents came back. What's all this noise? We could hear you outside. Listen, Ashley went and told her brothers. Tattling? Yes. She's making us out to be the bad guys. The audacity of a daughter-in-law. Actually, aren't you the ones at fault? Moving in without permission. Not doing anything around the house. That's only natural. Apparently, some punishment is necessary. Then Joey seemed to have an idea. It would be trouble if they come over again. Ah. I've got a great idea. Joey whispered to his mother. That's a good idea. Your siblings run a company, right? Yes, but if that company gets a bad reputation, it would be a disaster, right? It might even go under. What are you thinking? This is what I mean. Saying this, Joey showed me his smartphone. On the screen was false information about my brother's company. If you listen to us, we'll leave this as is. But if you do something unnecessary again, you're going to spread that online? Exactly. So don't ever do something like this again. It was essentially a threat. I had no choice but to comply to protect my brothers. However, Joey's tyranny wasn't just that. One day when his parents weren't around. I think you've realized, but I quit my job. Did you really quit by yourself? What are you implying? Just curious. At this point, it doesn't matter, does it? Yeah, you're right. Like you said, I got fired. Why? Various reasons. It's not important. I thought I had heard something useful. And don't you dare tell my parents. Why not? Isn't it obvious? Well, what are we going to do about living expenses now? Joey fell silent. Well, I guess I'll have to figure it out. I've been doing so up until now anyway. You might have forgotten, but I've been paying the rent and living expenses. Just don't do anything unnecessary. Months passed, and to Joey and his family, I was nearly a slave. I could only despair about how long this would continue. Today, there was an important meeting at my brother's company, so I was there. The meeting lasted until the evening, and I didn't get home until after 8 p.m. As soon as I arrived, I noticed something was off. There was no sign of anyone. The moment I entered the house, I was speechless. It was clearly desolate. I thought. Could it be? I checked each room, but all the belongings were gone. I sat down on the spot, overwhelmed. I called my brother. What's up? Can you come to the house right now? Got it. I'll be there soon. About 30 minutes later, my brother arrived with my sister. What the hell happened here? There's nothing here. They moved out without telling me. Seriously, why would they do something like this? Huh? What's this? What's wrong? There's something on the table. What? What my brother found was a note apparently written by Joey. It read, "We are fine without you." So, we decided to move out. Thanks for the cash in the drawer, it was helpful. What's this about cash in the drawer? I hurried to the bedroom to check the dresser. The money I had hidden there was all gone. Could it be gone? They took everything. It had contained nearly $10,000. I messed up. I never thought they'd notice. But what are we going to do now? Although my brother asked that, I couldn't think of anything immediately. However, my sister's words reminded me of something important. But why do something like this? What's the benefit of doing all this? What do you mean? I mean, it's like being handed a divorce notice, isn't it? That's right. That's exactly right. What? Thank you. Huh? Oh, yeah. The situation of Joey and his parents leaving was actually an unexpected opportunity for me. Are you smirking? Yeah. It's kind of scary. Can I talk to you both for a moment? I then shared my plans with them. There's a lot I want to ask, but if Ashley has decided, then it's fine. I know I introduced you to Joey, but just go ahead and do what you need to. At that time, I deliberately chose not to contact them myself. Considering Joey's character, I was sure they would contact me first. So, I waited. It was a week after Joey and his parents had left. Hey. How are you doing? As I expected, Joey called. Wait a minute. Where are you right now? Huh? Why do I have to say such things? Are you stupid? What do you mean by that? Seriously, what a noisy woman. I'll forgive you if you apologize. Also, if you work as a housekeeper, I'll even give you the keys to the house. How about that? Isn't it a good proposal? I couldn't help but sigh at the absurdity. Who would do such a thing? For someone useless like you. Isn't that more like you? Huh? How dare you? I could hear Joey talking to someone over the phone. Huh? Yes, I understand. It was probably. My mom wants to talk. Without my consent, he handed the phone to his mother. Hello, can you hear me? I can hear you, but... Oh, you were alive. What did you say? Because you are unemployed now, right? I've heard about it. You really deceived me, what a scummy woman. Joey had lied to his mother to protect his pride. Who really is the scum here? I thought. What should I do? Why are you silent? Say something quickly? Hearing those words made my blood rush to my head. It's bad to say, but I'll teach this misunderstanding old woman over the phone. The truth about Joey. It seems you are mistaken, so let me tell you the truth, it wasn't me who got fired. Huh? What are you talking about? It looks bad now. Isn't that more on your side? Huh? Such nonsense. It seemed like the irritation of my mother-in-law would not stop. I'm not joking. After all, the luxury you've been living in is thanks to me. Enough already. I never thought the conversation would be this incomprehensible. No matter how much more time I spend telling the truth, she wouldn't listen. That's when I made up my mind. Then, I'll divorce your unemployed good-for-nothing son. Huh? Do you understand what you're saying? Even if you do that, you're the one who will suffer. Don't worry. Rather, you should be the one worried. This is not going anywhere. If you're going to hang up, you might want to ask about the firing. As I said that, the call ended. About 5 minutes later, Joey called again. Probably after talking to his mother. However, I did not answer the phone. I thought. Now, let them suffer a bit more. And I waited for the opportunity. Thanks to that, what awaited Joey and his in-laws was not just hell. A month later, Joey contacted me again. Of course, I had been making various preparations during this month. I have nothing to talk to you about. Wait. Won't you live with me? Why? Why, you ask? Shall I guess? It's probably because you're after money? I absolutely refuse. You left on your own responsibility, so good luck. Don't say things like that. Aren't we close? You might have heard from your mother, but I intend to divorce you. What? That's just how it is. Don't contact me anymore. I thought it was over, but it wasn't that simple. The next day, Joey came to the house with his parents. Again? It's not like that. I've heard everything from Joey. And? I'm really sorry. Look, Joey, apologize. I'm really sorry. Can we start over? Isn't that a bit too convenient for you? I know that. But still, I'm asking you. How foolish can he be? No matter how much he apologizes, I have no intention of forgiving him. Sorry, but that's impossible. Please leave. If things continue like this, I won't be able to survive. But you took money from the house, right? Did you really use it all up? I used it all up on moving expenses and such. I couldn't help but laugh. Oh right. There's something I need to give you. Wait here. What is it? I went to the living room, grabbed something, and returned to the entrance. Here you go. What I handed Joey was a divorce form. This is. You can see what it is. It's a divorce form. There's no way this can be accepted. He then tore it up into pieces. Do you realize what you're doing? Joey. You. I will never agree to a divorce. Well, that's fine. Either way, I was thinking of consulting a lawyer. Can you leave for now? This conversation isn't over. Either way, if you keep making a scene, we can't live together. Let's just go home for today. Wait. Joey was practically dragged away by his parents. I then went to consult a lawyer introduced by my brother. There was still one final touch left to do. That was a close one. Thank you. Is everything really okay now? Yes. It's safer to handle the divorce through a lawyer. But I have a favor to ask? If there's anything I can do, just tell me. Actually, I asked my brother to help me find a new house. It turned out he knew someone who owned a real estate business. I quickly signed the contract and moved to the new house. Of course, I didn't tell Joey anything. Well, there was no reason to. As expected, Joey called soon after. Did you go to the house by any chance? Where are you now? Like I'd tell you. I had been hearing about Joey's situation through Emma. It seems he's still unemployed and living with his parents. Now that it has come to this, his parents will have to work as well. Considering how stubborn my mother-in-law is, it's unlikely she could handle a real job. Also, I heard you're still unemployed. Why do you know that? I won't tell you that. What? And please tell your mother to hang in there. You. By now, Joey and his parents will continue to face more challenges. Meanwhile, I'm living freely in my new home. And I've welcomed a new family member. I started raising a Chihuahua, something I had wanted to buy for a long time. For me, this little one is enough. From now on, I will live my life with this little companion.